Happy travelers, Seven Continents Travel Agency here today talking about shore excursions by Royal Caribbean at the Port of Call in Aruba. So if you're watching this, you are going to Aruba and you're on Royal Caribbean and you want to see what's available, or you're thinking about booking a cruise that Royal Caribbean has and it goes to Aruba. And Royal Caribbean doesn't make it very easy to see what's available until you book it. And some of the important highlights we're going to cover today, we're going to cover the cost. Some of the excursions may have height, weight limitations, age limitations, etc. We'll see the departure times, and we'll also be able to see what's available. This particular cruise that I'm looking at leaves on December 23rd, arrives back in the New Year's Eve. And we're looking at this in middle October. So we're about 2 months out. And the cool thing about a big ship is there's a lot of amenities, a lot of things to do, but there's also a lot of people. And with that, you know, the excursion groups don't necessarily get bigger. So the key here will be earlier is better. If you see something, you should get it. Let's take a look. So right off the bat, you can see 4 spots, 1 spot, 1 spot. So there's a lot of things that are already very limited in terms of pictures. The prices are nice. You might also notice that on this particular row, there's no % off. Royal Caribbean normally gives some sort of discounts. Here's an example of one, and it varies from nothing, as you've seen, 5, 10, 15, 20. I've seen it as high as 25%. I get emails saying that there's 30%, so up to 30%. I haven't seen the 30%. I've seen one as high as 25%. So let's go through this, and you'll be able to, you're kind of able to see right now what is, already very hot in the market. So if you're booking a cruise for next Christmas, or heck, even the Christmas after that, it's not a bad idea to book it early. So let's hop into Aruba's sights and scenes. Their excursions are something for everyone. So if you want to get into the water, there's something for you. If you just want to not get in the water, there's something for you. This one leaves at 8:30 and 1:15. It's 3.5 hours. And there's no no limitations. This is just going to take you out, show you some things. Let you take some of those selfies, put them on the gram, and then of course get some of the taste experience and the details here. You can pause if you want to read longer. Here's some highlights here. You can taste the authentic pistachio patty. It's pretty good. And Eagle Beach, of course, is one of the more popular beaches in the area. There's some important details. You can't drink unless you're legally able to drink. Just pause and rewind if you want to read more details. But the price, I think, is pretty nice. All right, so we'll go back one here. Here we are. If you want pictures of Aruba, next one here is $39, $24 leaves at 8:30 and 1:15. It's 4 hours, no limitations. But as the name of the excursion implies, you're going to see some things and take pictures of the things. Important details, there might be uneven services. It's important to know that. Sunset Catamaran Cruise. So if you're going solo, there's 1 spot left, 59 bucks, good prices, 2 hours. Leaves, well, around sunset, as you might. Minimum age is 3, and it gives you complimentary drinks, and you can watch the sunset. I guess the name of the excursion perhaps gives it away. Here's the Aruba highlights. 1 spot left on this for this particular cruise. 50 bucks, 39 bucks. It's leaves at 1:30. It's a 4-hour excursion, and you get to see the highlights of Aruba, and it takes you to Eagle Beach. Sometimes if there's extra time, you'll be able to do a shopping extravaganza. Otherwise, you'll go to the California Lighthouse, popular beach, other geological landmarks, including the rock formation that was created by wind erosion and perhaps the help of water. If you like snorkeling, I went snorkeling in Aruba on a cruise, and for whatever reason in April, the water was cold, and I don't know what's going on there with that. 2 spots left for this, $104 per guest. Leaves at 12:30. It's a 4-hour excursion. Minimum height 59 inches. Maximum height is 90 inches. Worth noting. I think it's probably more of a limitation of the boat. 90 inches. That is, man, that's almost, what is it, 8.5 feet tall. Minimum weight 50 pounds, maximum weight 300 pounds, minimum age is 10, maximum age is 70. So there's a lot of restrictions here, mostly because some of the currents, if they take you out, there's a shipwreck that this might take you to. And the current at the shipwreck is was very strong. So I suppose that would be some of the limitations there. But water is very clear. Sea turtles, the snorkeling is highly recommended. Once you get used to the water, highly recommend the snorkeling in Aruba. Aruba Sea and Island tour. So there's some, what is that, anchovies down there you can take a look at. $74, 4 hours. Just the only limitations, don't be over 300 pounds. Perhaps that's a limitation of the vehicle, and it'll take you out. Certainly the vehicle. Sit in a glass windowed hole, take a look at the shipwreck off the coast of Aruba. There'll be a lot. There was a lot of boats when we were there. That's an attraction. They'll tell you the story. I won't ruin it. But there's a story of a little skirmish down there between two countries, and that is, that's that. Aruba by land and by sea. I won't belabor the point, but minimum age is 4, maximum weight is 250 for this one, probably due to the limitation of the sea-going vessel. Leaves at 2, leaves at 2:15, and it's a 3-hour journey, and you will see some sights. Pause if you want to read more, but you will see stuff that you want to see. The butterfly. You can go take a look at the natural bridge, butterflies, and a beach break. $66, 4 hours, no limitations in terms of height and weight. Just watch your step as there's uneven surfaces everywhere. Next up is the historic walking downtown tour. I'll click on it so you can see the price. $39 and what time that it leaves. There's one at 9 and one at 9:30. So if you want to get a little bit more sleep, 2.5 hours, and it will take you to some of the places to shop at. Shopping is very entertaining in some of these places. That's known as the Happy Island. Beach hop and snorkel. There's 3 spots for this. Again, we're 2 months out. $50 a person, leaves at 10:30, 4.5 hours, no noted limitations. Just make sure you can handle some current, take advantage of that life jacket and enjoy the clear water. Again, pause if you want to read more details here. Pause if you want to read more details here and here. So those are the details there for that. Continue on. How about the treasures on a Jeep? We haven't seen a Jeep tour for Aruba yet. $80, $54 for a kid. Minimum age is 8, and you will drive around to the noted locations here in a Jeep. The highlights are here, so pause if you want to read more, and some details here. Pause if you want to read more. But if you want to see it in a Jeep, you're in luck. What about Palm Beach at night transfer? $24, leaves at 6:30, 3.5 hours, no noted weight and height limitations. But otherwise, you will see Aruba at night. And grab some tropical craft beers and go to a cool beats club. Now that sounds very hip. Here's the best of orange. So if you're looking for just the photos, let your friends know that you went somewhere during your cruise and they probably didn't. Gotta let them know. Put it on the gram, as it were. This is $106, 10% off though. 10% off. That's not for nothing. Leaves at 8:30 and 8:35, so they give you 5 minutes of sleep. Catch that second one there. It's a 4-hour tour, no noted weight limitations. Here's an overview. Here's the highlights of what you are going to see, and if that's important to you, or if I'm talking too fast, pause it, read it, make sure that's what you want to do. There is a selfie stick included. Now, I've seen a lot of these. Another cruise line is famous for their take a selfie tour, and they do not include a selfie stick. Probably justifies the $106 cost. So there you go. All right, we will go on to the next excursion here at the leisure of my 1 gig fiber internet. There we go. You want to see some aloe street art and beach? I'm not much of an aloe connoisseur, but if you are, look at this right here, fresh from the plant. fresh from the plant to your hand. Ooh, it's not, you may have had aloe, but have you had aloe? Look at this right here. You're like, wow, this is nice. Fresh from the plant. This tour will take you on a street art and beach, 4.5 hours, leaves at 1:30. And if you want to see those things, pause there. And if you want to see some other details like using the restroom, it costs a couple bucks. That's why you don't see a lot of people getting out of the water. I'm not recommending that. Other details about beach rentals and fees, and be careful leaving your stuff unattended on the beach while you take part in water activities, as there are opportunists available. You want to go on a party bus? Not me. My party bus days are behind me. But if that's you, leaves at 8:30. Rise and shine. Start the day strong, friends. Hop on a party bus at 8:30, and for 4 hours. Minimum age on the party bus is 5. Maximum weight is 350. And come on, we're going on the party bus. There's going to be food and beverages available, pretty cheap, and it'll take you on a beach tour as well. So. Maybe it's not the party bus. Here's another aloe. Just now they're starting to mix aloe factory stuff, and then other things you can see. Spanish Lagoon. Maybe you want to go on a nature walk. Get away from that party bus. $54. Leaves at 8:30. Leaves at 12. So there's a little bit of a different. Let you sleep in there to enjoy that. Minimum age is 10. Most kids under 10 don't like walking, is my experience. Pause if you want to read the details. Pause there if you want to read more details, and pause here if you want to do more details and take note. Do things at your own risk. If something happens, you're probably signing a waiver and it's not their fault. What about the history of Aruba's food? $80 for an adult, $50. They can't eat nearly as much as adults. Leaves at 5:30. It's 3.5 hours. Minimum age is 10. Most kids under 10 won't enjoy authentic local cuisine. Pause if you want to read those details, and there as well. And this is a good note. If you're on Rhapsody between April 2 and 4/20, it will be in Spanish. No habla español, por favor. Here's the if you have accessibility needs, $224 will get you to the lighthouse. If you want to go to the barrier reef on a kayak, I got you, fam. $54 for an adult, $35 for a kid. Leaves at 8:30 at noon. 3.5 hours. Minimum age is 10. You don't want to tip the kayak if you're over 300 pounds, or just make it wobbly for the other people in the kayak anyway. Those are the details of where it goes, and these are the other details. And again, Rhapsody Sailings, it's going to be in Spanish. Here's some notes. Here's some of the things that are sold out, and there's quite a bit. Again, we're 2 months away from the sailing, but it is a Christmas sailing. This is a sailing that probably is near capacity because it is over the break. Anytime you got a week off, whether it's Thanksgiving, spring breaks are popular, and summer breaks, of course. So many things are sold out, and this is true across other carriers. I've been here on a couple other cruise lines. De Palm Island Snorkel and Beach sells. It goes quick. So if you're on a cruise, you like to book out, get that discount for the people that book the early bird discount. That is for you. I will show you some of the details here because you can't see it unless you book it. So if you haven't booked it, there you go. This is a 6-hour tour. No noted weight limitations, but important details regarding toddlers, and details about the sides and height and diameters and whatnot. So just pause. I'll stop and pause, and it lets you know when the food's available. You can get some chicken nuggets, hamburgers, hot dogs. If you need, that opens at noon, but if you want to start strong, 9 o'clock, tequila, wine, and cocktails. I will scroll down a little bit more. There you go. And there you go. So that's one that I wanted to do, but it was sold out, so we did the snorkeling instead. This is an excursion that my brother did, sold out. There's the price, $129. Quick, hour and 45 minutes. Minimum age is 4 years. Minimum height is 36 inches. Scroll down a little bit more. Sail away, snorkel, and barbecue lunch with open bar, $124. Go thirsty, 4.5 hours, and details there about. It's always tricky to snorkel with an open bar. Typically, just in case you haven't done it, the open bar typically opens up after the snorkeling is done, or when you say you're done. They don't want to, for good reason. they don't they don't typically mix that there. Here's some details. We'll pause and put them there. Sunset Schooner Cruise sold out, 20% off, 78 bucks. 2 hours, maximum weight's 250. Probably due to the schooner. Kids under 3 aren't really interested in the sun setting. That is not an interesting thing to kids under 3. You want to go on something like a Jeep, but not a Jeep, like a ATV. What about a UTV? You can go out in a beach break. This is for a driver and a passenger. It's 4 hours, $329 per guest. Height 7 feet, minimum age is 12, and 250 is the maximum weight. We do not want to hurt the shocks on the UTV. Hidden Gems. Surprised this one sold out. But it is a big ship. 4.5 hours, minimum age 4, maximum age 80 if you're over 80. Hopefully your guests that you're traveling with will send you good pictures. And they can Photoshop. Some of the phones that they have these days are amazing, and they can Photoshop for you. Pause if you want to see these details. And that is the details for that particular excursion. Snorkeling always, snuba and snorkeling, these things always go out first. We'll get to that in a minute. Fun sailing, 79 bucks, 3 hours, 250-pound weight limit. 3 years old is the age. Those are the details for that. Underwater helmet cruise, even on smaller ships, it goes out. This is another one of those things. A lot of fun to do. Go down there with the fish. You got the helmet on. They're looking at you going, hey, you don't belong down here. This is kind of neat, though. It's a 6-hour excursion. Minimum age is 8. And, well, after you'll probably be under there. If I remember what my brother said, it was about 30 minutes is how long he was under, but it went by fast. Here's the details of that regarding, the time to do it, the minimum age, height, and other details. Here's the snuba. It's kind of like scuba, but you got a cord. 6 hours, minimum age is 8, and you go underwater for depths of up to 20 feet. Make sure to pressurize those ears. And the banana boat, you must, some of the details about the water park that you will enjoy afterwards. And there you go. What about some pasta Alfredo with roasted chicken? That is Aruban cuisine. Almost done. Just a few left here, just in case you're sticking with me here and you're like, man, I want to see all the details. Aruba Scuba Tour. Here's for you scuba folks, $129. That is the World War II. I could not get down that low. I was snorkeling, so obviously I was up at the top. 3 hours and 45 minutes is the duration. Maximum weight is 300. Minimum age is 12. And bring your C card. I assume that is for scuba. There you go. Those are the details. Half-day off-road adventure. 104 bucks, 89 for a kid, 4.5 hours, 8 years old, 300 pounds. These are some of the details here. Make sure to pause. Each vehicle sits 8 to 16, and they must be seated forward. Bathrooms are available for a fee if you paused and read that there. Everyone's trying to make a buck. $2. Actually, it's the cost to go to the bathroom. Turn in a profit. More scuba diving, 144 bucks, minimum age 12, 300 pounds is the limit, 3 hours and 45 minutes, and you're going down to the shipwreck. Last one, the Boca Catalina Antilles shipwreck, snorkel and sail, $54 per very reasonable price. 4-hour excursion, minimum age is 3, and you can go 15 feet underwater with the with snorkel. It's pretty reasonable. Just do not inhale underwater. All right, so those are the excursions for that Royal Caribbean offers in Aruba. And I'll close with a cautionary note. for the for we'll call more sensitive gift store shoppers. There, this was one of the unique locations of all the islands that I've been in, where you go into the gift store, and there might be items deemed inappropriate for families. If you're bringing kids in there, you might have to do some explaining. Hey, mom, what's this wood carved artifact here, and why is there all sorts of different shapes? And unless you can start, explaining, oh, hey, that's just Aruba is known for growing eggplants, and that's one of their exports. So just, I didn't know, but I had to explain to them. It's just noteworthy. So on that note, we'll close this excursion. Hope you saw something that you liked, and until the next video, travel safe.